right. So if this is your first time joining us, we want to welcome you to our AgriStress monthly meeting. We are the AgriSafe Network. We are a national agriculture health and safety nonprofit, and our goal is to protect the people who feed the world. Now, we do have an AgriStress helpline that is available now in 11 states. We're very excited about that. It is a 24/7 suicide crisis, emotional support, and we do have resources that are available by call or text. And this is specific to people in rural communities and agriculture. Now, if you would like to stay in touch with AgriSafe or get involved with us, what you can do is you can scan this QR code that is on our screen. Let me enlarge that just a little bit for you so you can see that. You can go ahead and there's all kinds of links on our website, basically any resource that you could possibly imagine we have on there, and we would welcome you to use that. All right. Whoops. Okay, and we do have a quick announcement here. We do have our Farm Response Online Learning Center that is available in the states that are in green on that map up there. Move my little thing out of the way here. So you can get 3.5 hours of continuing education with this module that is offered by us. And then on the screen, you can see here the topics that are covered. Once you do complete this course, you're going to go ahead and get a digital badge that you can use. Most people use it on LinkedIn, or you can add it to your email signature. So we do have lots of spots available that we would like to go ahead and use and get you guys trained. And just let us know. You can use that QR code to go ahead and either ask questions or register, but you can also email any of us to go ahead and get some more information. All right, I am going to go ahead and stop my share, guys. And we have, again, two wonderful speakers for you today, and I'm very excited to introduce you to Mr. Tim Brennan. We actually got to know each other through another nonprofit, and I said, hey, wait a minute, you would be great for our AgriStress meeting. So he is with the Farm Foundation, and he's going to go ahead and share his PowerPoint with you guys. They do some wonderful, wonderful things. I peruse their website quite often, and just to get resources from them as well. Boy, they are doing a lot of good things in our rural communities out here. So, Tim, I'll go ahead and let you share, and then I'll just let you get started whenever you're ready.
You're muted, Tim.
There we go. How's that?
That's perfect.
Okay. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am the Vice President of Projects and Strategic Impacts here at Farm Foundation. I've been part of Farm Foundation for 12 years now, so clearly I love what I do. I'm a farm kid who grew up in northeastern Ohio. My mother and father were early organic garden and farming adopters. My mom was one of the creators of Mother Earth News magazine back in the early 70s. And so I was a kid that grew up in the 80s when farming collapsed, both for my family and my grandparents, my uncles, just about everybody got out of farming at that point. So I did not pursue a career in agriculture, even though it was my first love. But I spent about 20 years working in higher education at University of Chicago and Northwestern University, and got a little burned out from that and bought a farm about 35 miles south of Chicago. It's a small hobby farm, and in doing that, I learned about Farm Foundation and had a wonderful opportunity to join their team. And so we have grown considerably over the last decade that I've been around, and I'll share a little bit first about Farm Foundation and then about our Farm Family Wellness Alliance work. And And Carrie, thank you so much for this opportunity, and everybody for the work that you do. We see mental health and farm family wellness as a safety net, and every one of us is doing everything we can to make those holes in that net smaller and smaller. And so what we do is not to replace what anybody else is doing. It's simply to provide yet another layer of hopefully support and capture, so that we stop losing so many of our amazing farmers across this country. But first, Farm Foundation was founded in 1933 during a time not so dissimilar to now. 33 was, of course, the Depression and the Dust Bowl, and we had huge amounts of people leaving rural communities and going into cities. We had huge problems with starvation, with farming practices that were antiquated, a whole bunch of similarities. But we were created by the CEO of International Harvester, which is Alex Legg, you see there, and Frank Loudon, who was governor of the state of Illinois during the 1920s. You may know Alex as the first president of Farm Credit. Of course, then it was called Farm Board. He was the CEO of International Harvester, as I mentioned. He's also one of the creators of 4-H. But what they wanted to do was create an organization that could move freely between the federal government, private industry, higher education, all for the benefit of farmers and rural communities. So for most of our life, we were really the first think tank in food and agriculture. We were, really a policy institute from our founding. We were one of the folks that helped write the first Farm Bill in 1933. Been very active on extension and Farm Bill and other issues. But when they brought me on board, it was with the intention of really expanding what we do from just a think tank to really a do tank. And so our mission is to build trust and understanding at the intersections of agriculture and society. And our vision is to build a future for our farmers, communities, and our world. And we do this in a wide variety of ways. We are primarily use economics, environment, and social as the sort of areas that we work in, but our levers are really innovation, education, and policy. So just about everything we do falls within one of those areas. We work in 4 distinct areas. One is farmer health, and for us, that's community health, personal health, rural vitality, all of those issues that have been part of Farm Foundation for the past 90 years. I should say that our founders, Mr. Frank Loudon, the governor of Illinois, was fortunate enough to marry Florence Pullman. For those of you that might be familiar with Florence, she was the daughter of George Pullman of the Pullman Railcar Company. And so they both left an endowment that has allowed Farm Foundation to remain independent for 92 years. We don't accept single funders for any project that we do, except from USDA, but we build coalitions around problems. Other areas that we work in are data technology and innovations. So everything from data interoperability, which is really about traceability in the supply chain. We also work a lot on markets, new market development, farm diversification, value add, trying to help farmers navigate a future where they must diversify their operations in order to survive. Let me jump into this. We also just opened a campus. So this is our innovation and education campus. It's a beautiful 1850s farm, which is about 25 miles north of O'Hare Airport. The purpose of this is really, it's an industry-based organization, so this is not a place that's open to the public. It's really about having a farm and a center, kind of a retreat space for the entire value chain of food and agriculture to come together. We hold summits, training sessions, forums, we do a lot of farming on this site. We currently have about 14 different crops. The purpose of those crops is not really demonstration, but it's built around soil health. We demonstrate 10 different soil health and regenerative agricultural practices, and we demonstrate 5 different types of farm innovations on this site. And so I encourage any and all of you to visit us if you're ever in Chicago and want to make that trip up from O'Hare. It's one of the easiest places traffic-wise to get to from O'Hare. So I would encourage you all to stop by and check that out. So we became involved in mental health issues about 5 years ago. If you recall, during the COVID pandemic, there were some pretty terrible storms in Iowa, the Doreko storms that did some severe damage to 8 different farm communities. We work with organizations like 4-H and others on other projects, and the national leader of 4-H called us up and said, is there something that we can do to help particularly the young people that are really isolated during these, because of COVID, during these storms? And we quickly stood up a program that enabled any of those farm families in those communities, those 8 counties, to have access to counseling and the possibility of providing them more services as it was needed. But we quickly realized the demand was much greater than just those 8 counties in the state of Iowa. So we partnered with the Iowa Farm Bureau, Iowa State University, and some other folks, and provided the state of Iowa with as much support as we could give them. And then a couple of years later, we added the great state of Illinois, our home state, to that. And then we expanded it nationally. On the screen in front of you, I don't think I have to go through this. I think you guys know this better than anyone. The state of agriculture, is a very similar moment as we saw in the 1980s. We're deeply concerned about what's happening to the farm economy. I don't know if any of you pay attention to the markets, but the corn market's not looking too good, and our farmers have planted an extraordinary amount of corn this year. If we do not get some of these trade deals done, if we do not get mandates for more grain-based fuel production, then our farmers are really in trouble. And it's probably likely to be a worse situation than we saw in the 80s. Already, farm bankruptcies are up higher than they've been in a very, very long time this year. And so we're deeply concerned. We're concerned about farmer suicides. We're concerned about farm mental health. And we're concerned about our industry shrinking. It shrinks every year. Less and less people farm. Farms get bigger. Smaller farms get pushed out. But when you look at trends like climate change, trade, all of these sorts of things, we actually need more farmers, not less farmers. And we need farms of all sizes producing more than just commodity crops. And so we are in a very critical time for farmers. And that's why what you do and what we're doing is so important. I'm not going to go too deep into this. Again, you guys all know this. Farmers are older than the average working citizens in the U.S. Their accessibility to mental health or any sorts of health treatments is highly limited. It is only going to get worse. The latest cuts to Medicare and Medicaid are going to have a significant impact on rural communities where farmers have access to both mental and physical health support. So providing as much sort of virtual support as possible is so important. So what Farm Family Wellness Alliance does is we provide a national health service to all farm families. And it doesn't matter if they have insurance or access to local services. But as I mentioned, we launched it in 2020. And then in 2024, we brought in a new service called Together All. And Together All is an online community it's been in existence for about 10 years, primarily in Canada. And for those of you that are old enough to remember things like Yahoo groups or AOL chat rooms, it's a pretty similar, pretty low-tech community bulletin board system, but it's limited to just farmers and farm families. So anybody 16 years or older can sign up in about 30 seconds for an absolutely anonymous account on Together All. They can browse the chats to see if there are topics that are of interest to them or relate to their issue. What we find is that most people, about 80% of them, find the information or support that they're looking for on Together All and generally do not require further support. However, we monitor Together All 24/7, both with licensed clinicians and with AI, to ensure that if there is anybody that is suffering any sort of mental health crisis or might be thinking about harming themselves, we step in and pull them out and get them immediate care. We have saved 4 lives this way, and every life is precious. Those are incredible victories, but obviously, as I said earlier, this is just a safety net. But if people need more than what Together All provide them, we do use a service out of Missouri called PASS, Personal Assistance Services, who provide one-on-one counseling, which can be anything from financial, nutrition counseling, mental health, drug abuse, alcoholism, really any of the issues that folks may need help with, even helping them with farm management. And we tend to stick with folks until the problem is solved, or 20 sessions is basically about the limit of what we can afford to do. And we pay for those out of the support that we have in the coalition. But we find, like I said, about 80% of our folks get what they need on Together All. See if there's anything in here. I think we've talked through all of that. I'm going the wrong way here. So I would encourage all of you to go to Together All, and the best thing is to go through our website. So if you go to Farm Foundation and choose Resources and Farm Family Wellness Alliance, there's a link that will take you directly to the farming community on Together All. It takes just a minute or less to sign up. We've made it really, really easy. Browse those communities. I'm sure your expertise will be more than welcome on those boards. I just want to give you a quick look at some surveying that we do every month. We monitor very carefully what people are talking about, and of no surprise, anxiety and stress, depression, relationship issues, loneliness, and PTSD continue to be pretty consistently the top issues every single month. You see the suicide numbers that has gone up since we started this program. At almost 6% have considered suicide in the past 6 months. That is deeply concerning, but again, not surprising. Also not surprising is almost 70% of folks have never really sought any type of mental health support. Now, what we're really pleased with on this program, and I think I have a slide that's got some of these statistics on it, but about 38% of our users are over the age of 55, and 25% of all of our users are male, which we find that this is really outperforming most other services of this type for young or for male farmers, particularly of my generation and older, who tend not to seek support. They're not going to get into their truck and drive into town and go to a therapist, but they're finding this Together All service really approachable. And we've had over 70,000 interactions on Together All since we launched this last January. So it is extremely used. About 75% of those activities take place in the evening. The top using states, again, to me, not a surprise, some of our largest agricultural states, California, Arizona, Illinois, Texas, Kansas, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and New York. Those states have the most users, but we actually have participants now from all 50 states using Together All. So these are the partners of the Farm Family Wellness Alliance. On the left are the donors. So these are the folks that are paying for the services, and it's all goes into either marketing or paying Together All and PASS for the work that they do. But all very generously supported by mostly cooperatives. So CoBank, Farm Credit, Land O'Lakes, CHS are all farmer cooperatives. And so it's farmers helping farmers, which is really terrific. The only one that's an exception to that is the Native American Agricultural Fund. Native American farmers have twice the suicide rate as white farmers. They have there's a lot more crisis in the Native American farming community, and so we're working closely with the Native American Agricultural Fund to get the services out to these folks. On the right-hand side of your screen, you will see all of our partners, and these are organizations that are really focused on helping us market. The most important being the American Farm Bureau Federation. They just have terrific reach and depth. They're also wonderful experts on farmer mental health. So the Farm State of Mind websites, and then groups like National 4-H, FFA, reaching those younger folks, and you can see all the rest of them. National Corn Growers just joined. I think cattlemen are about to sign up and become part of this. If any of your organizations are interested in joining the Alliance, there is no cost to it whatsoever. We have quarterly meetings where we update folks on our statistics, and I'll show you those very quickly. And this is part of the upswing that we've seen. We've got about 900 active users on Togetherall, but you can see starting in May, we on average went from, I'd say between 30 and 50 people signing up per month since we launched. And then in May, it started to accelerate significantly. So now we're registering about 125 people a month on Togetherall. And so that's a pretty indicative that there is growing anxiety out there in the farming community. What we predict is come September, October, November, those numbers will probably double. Demand is going to significantly increase, and we're looking at ways to add more resources to particularly the professional assistance services side of it, and the suicide prevention aspects of it, because I don't know, we just think that the fall is going to be pretty rough if things don't change. We do have a seminar I wanted to share with you that's coming up. This is going to be on Tuesday, August 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's really intended for farmers and ranchers. Of course, absolutely anybody can participate in this. If you go to either our LinkedIn page or our Facebook page, you can get the link to sign up for that. But I would encourage you, and if you can share that out to any of your farming communities, we would certainly appreciate that. You can also, there's a bunch of social media that you can grab from our LinkedIn or Facebook if you'd like to share this as a resource within your communities. Again, it's open to all farm families in this 16 and above. So any sharing out you can do. Oh, here, I do have the link. Sorry about that. I do have the link here for the seminar if you wanted to write that down or go to it. And on what we're going to have there. And we've got some really terrific speakers, Monica McConney, and a farmer from the Illinois Farm Bureau that's really astute at talking about these issues in a really accessible way. So I think that is about it. If you want to contact me, there is my email address. You can find our website at farmfoundation.org. We've got tons of other programs that I did not mention, but you can find all of that on our website. And the last thing I'll say is we're launching a new national young beginning farmer program. We have $2 million invested by 2 companies here in the US, and it's really focused on the new farm economy. What young and beginning farmers need to know and understand about the future of food and agriculture. It's a 3-year cohort. And if folks graduate from the program, they're each going to get a $10,000 grant. And so that's an exciting new program. So look for news of that. And I will stop right there, Carrie.
That's great, Tim. So we do have a question from Stacy in the chat. Are farm workers included as well, or is it just farmers/owners?
Farm workers as well. Anybody working in the ag industry, and I will tell you, we don't police it. If you're a farmer or farm related, even if you're on the food side or production side, everybody is welcome.
Okay, and we had someone else that really enjoyed your slides. Are they able to get those anywhere, or is that?
Sure. Yeah. How about I send them to you as a PDF, Carrie, and if you want to send them out, that would be fine.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. If anybody has any questions for Tim, go ahead and unmute and go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Tim. This is Natalie Roy. I'm the CEO of AgriSafe. So thank you for being on this today. And we can definitely push out that August 26th seminar. We often push out programming from other organizations, so we'll make sure to do that. And then also wanted to make sure with the Togetherall, I think that we can all do our part to help market it. And it's great to see you have marketing partners. One of the things I wanted to clarify was, I know Together All is a platform that has for different industries, and so that 900 users, are those distinct within the ag sector? Is that have you been able to accomplish that? Oh, I don't know if he dropped off.
Did we lose him?
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, just crashed there. But yes, that is just people within our ag space that have registered for the Farm Family Wellness Alliance.
Great, wonderful. And is some of those folks that register for that, they also can be there in the supportive role, right? So would it be fair to say some of the 900 folks might be people that are there to support farmers, and then some may be the ones that are there to maybe seek support? So it might be a combination of both, or?
Yeah, it might be. Most of the action that we see, Natalie, though, the action, the discussions that we see are really kind of peer to peer, people saying, oh yeah, I've experienced that. Or, a lot of the discussions that you'll find have to do with intergenerational issues. I think that's one of the biggest things we see on there. So, my mom and dad are 84 years old and they refuse to hand the farm over to me and my brother or me and my kids. And, there's all of these sorts of problems. And so then you'll see 10 different people jump in and say, oh my gosh, same for us. Here's what we did, and things like that. So I'd say it's more of that kind of experiential sharing than it is like professionals, offering, kind of the counseling advice. It's really more of that, sharing of experiences, and that's super valuable.
Absolutely. I think 900 is really impressive for something that's only been around for a couple of years. And so here at AgriSave, we'll put our thinking hats on in terms of how we can better promote it and also connect it with our crisis line, so that our crisis line specialists know that they can use that as a source to refer folks to. So thanks again for coming on today, and just wanted to clarify a couple of things. Thanks.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, I am floored by your interaction in just a short amount of time. Like, that is huge, and that really gives a testimony to how much it is needed.
Absolutely. And I think, we tried to really put together a coalition that came with their own trusted communities, right? People are very bonded and trusting of AFA and FFA and 4-H and Farm Bureau. Those are really people are tight with those organizations. Sort of careful to structure that. We've been around a long time, and now community carry is, how do we take the Farm Family Wellness Alliance beyond just thinking about health? There's so many other interests or opportunities and issues within rural communities. And so over the next year, we're going to look at how we expand the Farm Family Wellness Alliance to really be about community resilience and community health, kind of make it even bigger.
Yeah. So when we're finished here, I'm going to leave this comment for you to check out in the chat, because Gail would like to go ahead and connect with you, and she has her information there. It's Gail Olson, very last comment on there. And then if you're able to stay on for just a second, I am having a hard time trying to find the link to that event that you were talking about. Would you be able to post that in our chat for everybody? And then we'll make sure that we include it in our email afterwards as well.
Happy to do that. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Tim?
I do.
Excellent. Go ahead, Denise.
Maybe I missed this because I had to take a phone call. Do you have brochures that advertise your, like, Together All and your personal assistant services? I'm up here from rural Montana, and we recently had, in the last 4 months, 3 suicides of farmers. 2 of them were women, which is unusual, but.
I'm sorry to hear that. No, we've done some paper things, but I'll tell you what, I had an interesting experience at the Farm Bureau convention last December. We Farm Family Wellness Alliance. I had these little air fresheners for their trucks that said Farm Family Wellness Alliance, and had brochures. if I stood at the table, you know, and I'm a smiling, friendly guy, people wouldn't even make eye contact with me as they left. But if I stepped away from my table, boy, did they grab it. And I more than often, it was a woman, a wife, grabbing the brochure and handing it to her husband very intentionally, like, you need to read this. And so it's kind of interesting that I think what we've really relied on is mostly using electronic means. And so social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of those things have been more effective than publishing things for us. We also don't do a lot of like large scale in-person events. However, if anybody wants to print things out, we do have a toolkit available. And if you just reach out to me, I can send you a link to that. It's a Dropbox account where you can print postcards. You can order those air fresheners and things like that if you want to get into promoting Farm Family Wellness Alliance.
I was just wondering because I'm a nurse, but I do run the ambulance service. And sometimes it'd be nice just to casually give it to,
right.
I mean, not blatantly, but just like you said, offhand, give it to somebody.
Right. You know, we just got a grant from Culver's. They had a movie called Green and Gold that they were promoting, and it's about the farm crisis in the 80s in Wisconsin with a focused on a dairy family. And so for every stream that movie got, they donated to the Farm Family Wellness Alliance. So they're giving us $40,000 this year to support that. So maybe we'll spend some of that money and get some things printed for folks like you, Sarah, or I'm sorry, it wasn't Sarah. You know who it was. So we can share that out. So thanks for that feedback. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, Denise. Thank you. All right. Anybody else have any questions for Tim?
I have one, if that's okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
So Tim, I'm wondering, most of the work that I do is with youth, like ages, high school, FFA, things like that. Does Farm Foundation do anything specific with that age range currently?
All of our programs start at the college level. So we kind of pick up where 4-H and FFA leave off. So we have 9 different next generation programs and it runs the gamut of people early career and mid career, but nothing in the youth space. We just support those organizations.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great question. All right, anybody else want to unmute and ask Tim?
Yeah.
Anything?
So, Tim, I apologize.
No, you go ahead. I'll be next.
You can go, Sarah.
Oh, oops. Okay, so real quick, kind of on that level, and especially talking about women in rural communities, I work as a nurse in a rural community in Wisconsin, and we have a reproductive family planning clinic. And so I was wondering if you have any information on perinatal depression in farming women and families.
You just never bring that up, Sarah. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I've not heard that, and I don't think I've ever seen that brought up on Together All either. So it may be worth you looking through there, but I don't think I've ever seen anything on that. But it's a great issue. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that really is. I had never really even thought about that.
I have a question.
Hold on, we're gonna let Tammy. I think Tammy's going next.
Okay.
So sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. So Tim, I was just looking at your website. So I love the idea of what you talked about with the air fresheners, because I think about all the tractors and all the machinery. Where do I find that? So I apologize. Do we just reach out to you directly to see if we can get those from you, or how do we get those? I think that's fantastic.
It's just Tim at farmfoundation.org.
I apologize.
Is it in your resources, Tim, on the website?
No, I don't think it's on the website. Just if you contact me directly, I can match you up to that.
Okay.
Our communications people will work with you on that.
Tammy,
Perfect.
I did put his email in the chat if you want to look there.
Okay, I already emailed them about something else while I was talking, so I'll email again. Sorry, Tim. Thank you.
All right, Leonard, you go ahead.
My question is about he was talking about the next generation farm. I have a nephew who just took over the family farm, and the grant program that he was talking about, is that on the website, or how would I connect him up with that program?
Yeah, so if you go on the website, there's a beginning farmer link and they can sign up for it. It has not been officially announced yet. It won't be announced until October, and then signups will begin. But they can put their name in early so that they're on the mailing list for that.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And somebody who's doing lots of outreach to farmer rancher, the farm wife groups are the most, and then also another area, if others are trying to get in, is when they have their annual meetings, they show up for those because they're getting their checks, and it's a great time to do a quick presentation about what resources are available in your area. And so this is one I can add to the list of things that we, and I work closely with the Kansas Farm Bureau and all the things that they have in place. And this year we actually got some of the 988 stickers, but some of the resources you were talking about, and we gave them to the co-ops, and they put them on the receipt when they came across the scales. And so it's kind of constantly in view.
I love it. That's fantastic. Well done.
Yeah. All right, Tim, if you're able to hang on, we're going to go ahead and slide over to Kate. But you guys, I think Tim has got a lot of new supporters on here today. So if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. You can do it privately, but if you would do it publicly, maybe the rest of us would get that information as well. So we'll let you guys continue that in the chat, and then we're going to move over to Kate. But Tim, thank you so much for sharing your project or organization with our audience here. We enjoyed it immensely. So I believe Kate is going to be our youngest guest ever to present here on the AgriStress audience here on our meeting. And get this, she is actually AgriSafe's summer intern. So she has done a great job with this video that she created for FCCLA, and AgriSafe jumped on top of that and said, hey, you're going to be a great asset to our AgriSafe network. So Kate is also here with her mother, Mindy, and we're going to let you guys go ahead and unmute.
Hello.
There we go. Hello, Miss Kate.
It says that sorry, go ahead.
Nope, that's all right. You're okay. You're good.
It says that I cannot do my camera because it's disabled by the host.
Okay,
I'll fix
Laura.
it. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you look into that.
Okay, I just sent a request.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. There's Miss Kate. All right, Kate, I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then if you would let us know, like, what brought you to this topic? Like, why did you choose this for your video?
So I chose to do mental health on agriculture and trying to spread awareness about it because I am from an agriculture community. My family has been farming for 4 generations. My dad does it. My whole family's connected to agriculture. So it was a very important topic to me. And when I was doing some research, I found that suicide is like the 11th leading cause of death in the US, and it's very high in my home county too. We just recently had 2 suicides in the last year. So it was just important to me to try to make a difference where I'm at. So I'm Kate Hohensee, and I'm from Miles High School in Texas. And Miles is a small town in West Texas. The population is about 900 people. The closest city to Miles, if you haven't heard of it, is San Angelo, with a population of about 100,000 people. And my hometown and its county are mainly agriculture. Most people I know have someone in their family who works in farming and ranching. My family's been farming and ranching for 4 generations, like I said. And my dad and his brother run our family farm and ranch. We farm wheat, cotton, and sometimes milo or maize, depends on what you call it. People call it either one. We raise cattle, and my grandfather also raises sheep. We have about 2,500 acres of farmland and 800 acres of ranch land in our family. So we are considered a small to mid-sized farmer for West Texas. However, farming does not produce enough income. So my dad and his brother have full-time jobs and work on weekends too. So they work pretty much every day of the week. My mom also works a full-time job, and I am a student in high school, and I have a part-time job, and so does my sister. So we all pitch in to help each other as much as we can, but as we all know, the demands of farming and ranching are high, and this leads to a lot of stress. I've seen it in my own family when my parents are stressed out about if the crops are going to produce and who's doing what task. Until recently, our area has been in a drought. We have not harvested any crops the last 3 years. In July this year, there were flash floods in our area, which did cost the life of one person in San Angelo. But for us, luckily, we didn't get that much damage. We just had a few fences fall down, some damage to trees, and some damage to crops. But overall, we were very blessed to not receive anything else. However, with us being in a drought and then the rain coming so quickly, it didn't soak into the ground, so it didn't help much. It really did more damage than it did help, other than it filled up the lakes. And as my family story shows, agriculture is not an easy way of life. My project is called Mind Matters, and it focuses on stress in agriculture and resources for help. I'm a member of FCCLA, which stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. FCCLA is what my parents and older people, I guess you could say, call FHA. It has grown and covers many careers now. For my FCCLA project this year, I decided to make a video. The topic was mental health in today's family and communities. Since my community is based on agriculture, I researched agriculture mental health statistics and found that the suicide rate of farmers is 3.5 times higher than other careers. I also learned that the suicide rate in my home county, like I said, is much higher than the state or national rate. And for all of these reasons, mental health and agriculture is very important to me, and I wanted to make a difference in my community. And then next, I would like to show my video.
Yep, excellent. Go ahead and share.
It will let me get out of here. Sorry, when I had to reset my computer because my stuff wasn't working, it cleared all of it.
Yeah, that's okay. And if something happens, I do have it pulled up for that just in case moment.
Okay. I just have to go through my downloads to find it again. Here it is. Okay. And then let me share my video. Where do I share my screen at? Like, where is it on the thing?
It's usually on the bottom. If you take your cursor down there, sometimes the bar will pop up. At least that's where mine's at, is at the bottom. And then there's an arrow that says share.
I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Okay, share. It's saying that I have to quit and reopen to do it.
Okay, let me go ahead and share.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my computer this morning.
That's okay. We have stuff that just happens. And you can never explain it because as soon as you get on next time, it will play perfectly. So I'll go ahead and play, and then I'll see if I can get this to, yeah, there we go. Do full screen.
Mind matters. Think of your idea of a typical farmer or rancher. Do you see a big tough guy in a hat, dirty jeans, and boots? Me? I think of my dad. My name is Kate Hohensee. My family's been farming and ranching in Tom Green County, Texas for 4 generations. Farmers and ranchers exemplify strength and perseverance. But did you know that the suicide rate among farmers is 3.5 times higher than other careers? When I learned this, I identified my concern. There is an alarming mental health epidemic. Suicide is the 11th leading cause.
Thank you.
Carrie, we don't have any sound on that. I don't know if maybe if you shut your camera off, maybe the internet speed is trying to keep up, but we don't hear the sound.
We barely harvested any crops. Costs greatly increased. We spent more money on feed. Drought means less grass for hungry livestock. The cost of equipment, seed, fuel, and fertilizer is astronomical. Crop prices fluctuate, leading to uncertain profits. Moreover, farmers and ranchers work long hours, often alone. My dad works from sunup to sundown. He works 2 jobs. He works a day job from 8 to 5 and farms after 5 and on weekends. He has limited rest and family time. As my family story shows, there are many risk factors that contribute to extreme stress in agriculture. Sadly, farmers and ranchers must also deal with the stigma around mental health challenges and the pressure of carrying on the family farm. Jared Ann Cornett with Texas AgriLife said,
"Farmers and ranchers don't ask for help emotionally due to their self-sustaining culture of grit built on hard work and the ability to handle any situation."
Farmers are tough. They are taught to pull up their bootstraps and work harder. But sometimes you can't work your way out of a mental health challenge. Signs of mental health crisis are extreme mood changes, anxiousness, change in eating habits, social withdrawal, decline in the care of animals and appearance of the farm, and increase in accidents. We must recognize these signs and reach out for help. Some resources for help that are free, confidential, and available 24/7 are AgriStress Helpline, AgriSafe Network, and local counselors like West Texas Counseling and Guidance Center. Tammy Hardigree is a qualified mental health professional, crisis service coordinator serving 23 counties. She sees the impact of these resources.
I began my career in mental health providing crisis services to individuals with thoughts of suicide in rural West Texas. With my personal experience as a farmer, rancher's wife, facing challenges of low commodity prices, natural disaster, and financial difficulties, I understood the impact of stress on mental health. With Texas leading the nation in the number of farms, farmer and ranchers, mental health has become a priority with innovative resources such as helplines and telehealth providers specializing in agriculture.
These resources have telehealth services since ag workers have little time to stop work to get assistance. How can you help? First, educate yourself and others. I hosted a booth on support resources at our local Cotton Festival and Farm Bureau events. Second, spread the word. I posted helpline information at our grain elevator and cotton gin, published a newspaper awareness article, and recorded 6 public service announcements with KRUN Radio. Third, collaborate. The Texas Department of Agriculture posted my digital story on Instagram. I worked with FCCLA, FFA, and 4-H clubs. National AgriSafe Network recruited me to promote the AgriStress Helpline during internship this summer and at a presentation this fall. So far, I have shared my project with at least 25,000 people with these events and networks. If I can reach this many, think about what you can do. Lastly, stop this stigma. If you see something, say something. Let's make a difference in our community. If this project saves the life of even one person, then it has made a true difference.
Kate, you did an excellent job. I'm going to stop sharing here.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Kate.
Thank y'all so much for the opportunity to be on here and give my presentation.
Yeah. Now, and did you already have a competition or that's this fall?
Yes, I had it in July, the beginning of July.
And beginning of July. So Kate was able to take this slideshow to, was it the National FCCLA?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent. And then what kind of feedback did you get from that?
Well, I got first in my level in my category, so that was really exciting. And we have not got like to really know much on what I could have done better or like what was good. So I'm not too sure on any of that, but I got first, so I hope I don't get too much criticism.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's excellent. I went ahead and put the link to that video in the chat if anybody wants to, look at it again. I'll also go ahead and make sure that we have it in the email that will be sent out with our replay. So if anybody wants to go ahead and unmute and ask Kate any questions, go ahead and feel free. We do have some comments, in the chat that says, truly great work. Whatever college gets you will be lucky.
Thank you.
Amazing job. Thanks for being so involved. Excellent. Yeah, we'll let you look through these. Very, very professional. Well done. Awesome. Okay. If anybody wants to unmute, go ahead. Now's your chance to ask Kate any questions.
Hey, this is Alan.
Hello.
I'm wondering if it's okay if we post this video on LinkedIn, Facebook, and other social media platforms.
Yes, that would be great.
Okay.
Would love that.
I think all of us would be able to magnify your work if we bounce it out to all of our connections in various platforms.
Yes, sir. That would be great. And it's another way to just get the help out there too. So.
And good job on a
Absolutely.
very important issue.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan, for bringing that up. Yeah, we want to help Kate as much as possible. And it also benefits us as well because we're all advocates here.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
So you may have heard earlier, I work primarily with youth, high schoolers mostly. Did you have like a backup team that was helping you? Did you like kind of get the feel of how your people that you spend every day with, how they were feeling about the topic itself? Were they very supportive?
Yes. So in my class, we have a group of boys who actually farm a lot, and they're like always like just in class, they're always just talking about how they don't want to go and do like the ag work after school because they have homework and then they need to take care of the animals and then they need to do this, and this. And you can just tell it's a lot of stress on them. So I would sometimes talk to them and ask like what ways would be better, like how could I put this in my video to make it like stand out more to like the youth and also the like 20s and 30s too. So
yes,
I had a lot of communication with them.
I am definitely, if it's all right with you, I'm definitely going to add this video to my curriculum.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Excellent. Kate, that's part of what this group is all about is helping each other succeed by, sharing and collaborating. So we're super excited to see how interested everybody is in your project.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We do have a few minutes left if anybody else would like to unmute and ask Kate any questions.
All right. I have a nosy one if she's up for
it. Go ahead.
Are you interested in going to college? And if so, what do you want to major in?
Well, I am interested in going to college, and I'm not sure what I want to major in quite yet, but I know I want to go into some healthcare profession, and I just love helping people. So really anything that would benefit people.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, advocates for agriculture and healthcare is awesome. We need more.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else?
I'm sorry. This is Leonard. I'll promote K-State and their Masters in Social Work program for her. She would be phenomenal with the things that she put together already, and it would flow into that. It's not medical, but it would lead right into that mental health field perfectly. And they've got a bachelor's and a master's program.
That would be
Yep, you never know. Great opportunities.
Yes. This whole experience has been a great opportunity just for like my future careers and
Or a bachelor's in occupational safety and health, and then a master's in social work.
yeah.
Yeah, our farmers need lots of occupational therapy of help. Kate, I don't know if we can have your contact information. I don't know if you want to put yours in there or if your mom prefers that hers is in there, but we'll go ahead and send that out afterwards as well. But if you want to go ahead and enter that into the chat, and then we'll send that out with our email with the replay as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you've got lots of great jobs and thank yous in the chat.
Thank y'all so much.
We're going to get your video out there for you.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else before we end for the morning? All right. Tim and Kate, we thank you for coming on for our August presentation here. And everybody else, we'll go ahead and get all of their information out to you with the replay email. And remember, if you are interested in sharing your project, go ahead and email me. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat real quick, because each month we are looking for presenters on organizations and projects that, you know, maybe we can't actually find them online. So we need you to come to us. We want to help get you out there. So go ahead and email me at cportel@agrisafe.org. So, all right, everyone, we will see you next month in September for the start of fall. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.